Alright, if you're watching this video, you've made it pretty far. It would be okay to stop at the last video for beginners, but if you want a little bit of a challenge, now I'm going to put a little step in, and this makes it even more difficult because we're going to be doing what's called empty stepping. So make sure you got your legs somewhat worked out so they can hold you properly, because this is going to tax your legs. It's going to be difficult. So when we step in Tai-Chi, it's very important how we step. We don't commit weight to a foot that we're stepping to. All right, anytime we lift the foot and put it down, we put it down first with absolutely no weight. There's absolute separation, coming back to that principle in Tai-Chi, separation of weight. So that means that foot's here, but there's no weight. Once we have this objective reached and we know that that ground is safe to move on to, then we shift the weight into that foot. This happens in every step in Tai-Chi. The reason we do this is because Tai-Chi is a martial art. Well, in the martial art aspect, it's for martial reasons. For health reasons, this is what strengthens your legs and gives you great balance, is being able to step empty. All right, this is a very important skill, especially if you have poor balance. Now, we're going to be doing this in brush, knee, and strike. We're going to be lifting the foot up and stepping forward. Now, when we do this, this is what's going to happen. We're going to lift this back foot up, bring it here. Now remember, there's no weight coming to the foot, what I just talked about a second ago. Cut. All right, if you've made it to this video, you're doing really good. Hopefully you've practiced all the stuff I taught you in the previous videos. This is kind of a bonus here, and it's kind of slightly advanced. So make sure you have your posture, your brush, knee, and strike posture worked out. You're comfortable with it, because now we're going to be stepping. All right, and this is just a little step, but the stepping is very difficult because in Tai-Chi, when we step in a way that's called empty stepping. So if I put my foot down, say I'm going to step in the form, or in martial practice, that foot goes down flat, everything touches the ground, but I commit no weight to it. Everything's separated out, and I still retain my posture. The purpose for this is maybe you want to step into an opponent, but you find they changed, and you don't want to be committed to that direction, which happens when you put weight in that foot. You want to be empty first, just in case you need to change and move your foot somewhere else and change direction. So we always step in this fashion, and that's what we're going to do here by adding a little step into brush, knee, and strike. Now, without the arms, going back just to our bow posture, 70% in the front leg, hips, knees, all those things I talked about have to be in place. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, go back to the beginning videos. And then here's the movement we make with the waist and the weight. Now, when we make this forward movement, what's going to happen is we're going to bring 100% of our weight to the front leg, keep it bent, the back foot is going to peel off, it's going to come forward, and the toe is not going to come past the heel. At no time does any weight go into that foot at this time. Then we're going to step back to where we stepped from, which means stepping back to the line. And yes, when you put that foot down, there's no weight in there. It's empty. This is hard on your legs. And then we're going to turn again. Get all the way forward, sit up, empty out the back, the foot peels off, we bring it forward, and then we step back with no weight in that foot, without looking at it, back to its original position, and we continue on. Now, it's a real good idea to get this very down pat, because when you add the arms in, all chaos can break loose. You can get very discombobulated. And with this step, you're learning to move the whole body, step with the whole body, keep everything organized, everything under control, and everything balanced. So let's do that on the other side with just the movement in the lower body. Step back with the left, get into your bow posture. Make sure the weight is correct. Always take a second to make sure that you've started from the right position. Hips, knees, feet, weight. And turn, shift. Turn, shift. Now the back foot peels off the ground, comes forward, no weight goes into that foot. All the weight is here, and my leg is bent, and I'm sitting up. Step back to where you came from, no weight there. Shift, turn, Continue, sit up, so we get all that weight directed down into the right leg. Foot comes in, no weight. Don't let the toe come past the heel, step back, and continue. Make sure you get a complete turn of the waist. That's how you get the weight properly put into the front leg. One more time. Turn, shift all the weight forward, sit up, empty out the back, bring it forward, no weight, step back to where you came from, and then shift. All right, that's the stepping motion, the weighting movement. Let's add the arms in. Get into your bow posture, palm away, the right striking hand, left palm down, left leg is forward, weight is in the left leg, 70%, the right hand is striking, the left is brushing. And you're going to turn, shift, moving forward, bring all the weight into the left, step back to where you came from, and continue. You'll be surprised how that little step causes a lot more of complexity to the movement. You really have to control your center. You have to move from the waist. You have to have the energy of the body directed directly up and down so that you're not leaning, so you can completely empty out the leg to step with. Make sure you're stepping back to where you stepped from. You don't want to end up in a narrow stance where you're stepping in. Foot always goes back to that line. Really try to keep the front leg bent. And let's do the other side. Same thing. Front leg is now the right leg. Bow posture. Get everything weighted correctly. Waist in the correct direction. Always go through this checklist. Because if you don't, you're going to start off wrong. Turn to the left, shift to the left. Turn to the right, shift into the right. Left leg empties out, comes forward. Keep the weight into the right when you take that step. Shift. Everything is in motion when the waist is in motion. Everything stops when the waist stops. Control the weight of the body. That is what balance is. In Tai-Chi, we have to be very exacting. Remember, keep your weight in the center of the foot. Don't sit into the heel. Now, if I can do this while talking to you, you can do this by yourself very easily with some practice. Really try to control that empty stepping. Keep the body upright. Keep the waist turning. Keep breathing. All right? So that's brush, knee, and strike with the step forward. I hope you enjoyed this series. If you want to continue on with me online, like I said in the first video, I have an online workshop called Grasp the Sparrow's Tail, where I teach a group of 4 postures called Grasp the Sparrow's Tail. I'll teach a series of warm-up exercises. I have practice-along videos. I go more in depth into the principles of Tai Chi. It's a well-rounded package that gives you a beginner a perfect amount of study material to start your own practice. So, as I said earlier, please subscribe and like, and I'll see you in my future videos. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.